do something about it. Hola, hola. I think it's starting. I'm a hot mess because no hay escuela. I'm sending this right now para los estudiantes que necesitan estar parte del live stream. Déjame mandar toda la información. Espérate. Vamos a empezar más rápido esta vez. Es que no hay mucha internet aquí, no hay mucho internet aquí. Estoy intentando, ¿ok? Ahora. A ver cómo estamos, cómo estamos. Ya mandé toda la información. Tenemos que esperar que las personas entren en el live stream. Para las personas que están en Peradec, hola, bienvenidos. Yo sé que va a haber unas personas con sus padres y todo. Este video no va a estar muy largo. Ojalá. Ahora hay una persona que está viendo. Hola, hola, hola. ¿Cómo están? The truth is, I have to go to the restroom, and there's 9 people in this video. Okay, go really fast. Oh, I gotta go so bad. I was trying to go before the video, but let me see. Okay. Hay 13 personas. Okay, muy rápido. Okay. Estoy aquí. No se preocupen. Muy rápido, tenía que ir al baño, but I am back. Ahora, vamos a empezar muy rápido porque no quiero pasar todo el día aquí. Vamos a empezar la clase. Pueden ver que vamos a empezar con Black History Month, ¿sí? Entonces, quiero que contesten las preguntas que están ahí. Looking at that picture, do they look alike? You're looking at those 2 pictures. Hopefully you're able to see it. Remember, if you have any questions, to ask me. Some people are having problems get on. Answer those questions. While you guys are answering this question, do those 2 people look alike? If you're having any friends that are having issues with the video, please help them. Some of you want the Peradec code. You're gonna have to wait just a second. Okay, screens are locked. Let's see. Okay, someone said, a lot of people are saying no. Some people say, I see no picture. I don't know who's not able to see it, but hopefully now you can see it. Okay, so I'm gonna go back. We were asking the question, ¿Quiénes son and do they look alike? Does anyone know who these people are? Does anyone know who these people are? Sí o no? Okay. For those of you who think, you should be able to recognize at least one of them. I'm trying to also troubleshoot for some of you who aren't able to see anything. If you don't have the Peradec, I'm going to do my best. You should be able to click the link that was put on the remind message. It's the second link. It's the Peradec link. For those of you who aren't able to see it, I'm going to say it real quick. It is TCKZL. TCKZL. I'm going to go ahead and type that real quick. TCKZL. Peradec code. All of you are about to get a message. Sorry about the multiple messages for those of you who don't want to be parte del video. We're going to go ahead and keep going. Those of you said they don't look alike. I'm going to go ahead. I want to talk to you a little bit about the woman that is our Black History Month character. That is Zoe Saldana. She is the one on the right side. If you don't know who the one on the left side is, that is Nina Simone. I'm going to go ahead and play a song by her so you can recognize her. There was a documentary, and this documentary was played by Zoe Saldana over the life of Nina Simone. Many of you won't recognize this original song by her, but you will recognize the Michael Bublé version. So I'm going to go ahead and play it real quick. Sit tight. Thank you for those of you who tuned in, because this is the only time you'll be able to get the información for our Prueba Grande, el primero de marzo, for Black History Month. So listen closely. Can you guys hear this? So that's Nina Simone. Nina Simone, during the time about civil rights and things like that, it was, some people said you can't hear it. It's okay, I'll send it out. But there was a time during civil rights that Nina Simone was singing songs about what was going on and what she was seeing. And she pretty much got to the point where she couldn't stay in the United States. And so she went over to Germany, got really famous for her music. And so now we can listen to her music and appreciate it. But during the time, she was not accepted. And so they did a documentary about her life, and they had Zoe Saldana play her role, and there was a lot of controversy. Most of the controversy was like, some people said, hey, you're Dominican and you're light and you're not. Some of them said she was too pretty to play Nina Simone. There was a lot of crazy going on. But if those of you who don't immediately recognize Zoe Saldana, you will see she played in Guardians of the Galaxy, Star Trek, as well as Avatar. So she's kind of a big deal for those of you who are movie buffs. She's a very notable actress. She is Dominicana, but as we know she's Afro-Dominicana. Oftentimes, she doesn't receive roles that ask for someone who's Latina because they say she looks too Black. And so sometimes she doesn't get roles for people who are African American because they say she looks too Latina. And this is one of the issues that happens in the media and movie industry when you're going out for roles. Go ahead and take 2 minutos, answer this in English. If someone says, you don't look Black, what does that mean? I'm going to give you some time, and knowing that there's a lag and a delay for the Peradec to change, you got 3 minutos on my clock. Ahora. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start looking at these responses as it's counting down. Okay. So some of the things that people are saying is it means that people have a fixed image of what someone that is Black acts like, and that the person doesn't fit into that description. A stereotype. A lot of people are saying stereotype. Our, let's see, when someone that is African American doesn't follow the stereotypes that people give to them that are sometimes wrong, given by other races, disrespectful. Is there anyone who wants to be honest and say, like, it means that that person's not acting like everyone else who looks like them acts? For example, let's say that, actually, I can't find a good example. While you guys are typing, because I got some people who are still typing. Okay, so someone said you may sound like you've been around white people. Some people think that if you don't sound hood, then you don't sound Black. Okay, so a lot of people are saying it means you don't fit the characteristics or stereotype of someone's version of acting Black. That's a pretty common description. Okay. I love it that some people are giving personal experiences of hearing this. Like, so we can change you don't act Black to you don't act anything, right? Like you don't act like a Christian. You don't act like you're straight. You don't act. We can replace this with any identifying characteristic, and then you can respond according to that. You don't act like someone who goes to school at Park Hill South. You don't act like a straight A student. You don't act like a 15-year-old. I want you to think and process, it's about to lock on y'all. So I want you to think and process, is this meant to be something that's negativo o positivo? Okay. So in order to talk about this, my little 30-second, 1-minute blurb on the palabras importantes de hoy. The first word is microagresión. Repitan, por favor. Microagresión. Esto es un comento o acción que puede expresar una actitud de prejuicio hacia un grupo o una persona de un grupo de minorías. Okay, so oftentimes these are little statements that are actually meant to be compliments. Just like when we said you don't look Latino, people don't mean that negative. They mean like, I don't tend to be around Latinos and you look like the people that I hang around with, right? Or when people say you don't act Black, I heard that growing up and it was not meant to be negative all the time, right? Sometimes it was like, all I know about Black people is from media, and you act just like the people that I grew up with, and they weren't like the people from media. So oftentimes it's meant as a compliment. But those of you who have been in my class, remember we talk about intento con impacto. And when we talk about that, the intent is to compliment, but the impact is it takes away part of a person's identity, and it makes them feel as though they're not like everything that they were raised to know is subpar, and that they're not good enough, that they can't be accepted unless they act the way that you think that they should act. See? So remember, in your prueba grande, el primero de marzo, you will get some scenarios where I actually take the things that we've been talking about with these conceptos, and I'm going to put them in Latin American situations, and you're going to have to respond according to those scenarios and use the vocabulario in Espanol that we've been using. Okay. Are there any preguntas? I'm going to go ahead and set that timer so you can ask me any preguntas about our Black History Month material, because I know that there's not a lot of opportunity for me to hear from you. The awesome thing is you're also able to comment on the YouTube video. I wasn't able to get that last time. Shout out to the 33 of you who were able to tune in. This is the first third of our video. As this time is counting down, this is your chance to post any questions that you have about Black History Month or about the themes or words that we talked about. If you need me to repeat anything, just let me know. I got a lot of people saying no, questions about classes. Somebody's asking about the proyecto. You will be able to do that at the end. Someone who's starting that question about how come, please continue to ask that question. I will do the timer if you don't get the chance. But if you're asking about the proyecto, make sure you insert that at the end of the video. This is just about the beginning. Okay, it's just about the beginning. So if you want to ask anything about our Black History Month information, this is a good time to do it. Maybe you didn't want to ask in class in front of other people. I will answer the ones about Black History Month during this video. Someone's asking, will we go over all of this información before the prueba grande? Yes, we will. There will be one or two tutorials, prayerfully, that are devoted to answering these questions about Black History Month. Someone asked, this is a good question. I don't know, but I'm going to try because I do not know the answer to this question. How come not all African Americans want to celebrate Black History Month? Is there any specific reason? Well, as somebody who does, I have no idea. And even though I'm a teacher, I don't know everything. Most teachers don't know everything. But maybe some of you actually were able to present some reasons better than I could have when I was reading some of your questions. There's a lot of people who don't want to celebrate Black History Month because it's just a month and they really believe that Black history should be a part of American history. And so there's some people who don't celebrate it because they celebrate it every day. So there's nothing special about febrero to them. There's some people who don't want to celebrate it because maybe they don't know how, right? So growing up in a lot of school systems, they don't know enough about Black history. Everything that I know, I had to teach myself, especially as it relates to Latin America, because this is definitely not taught in Spanish classes on the regular, and it's not taught really at all. So because I did my master's research in global policy having to do with some of these concepts in Latin America, that's why I'm able to teach about it. Great question. In Espanol, if you're referring to, it's about to lock on some of y'all. If you're referring to people of color, you can say personas de color or gente de color, if you want to refer to them as that. But I want to let you know that this, many people call it political correctness, has not fully entered into the Latin American world. But everyone will know what you're talking about, if that makes sense. So oftentimes if they see someone, depending on the country you're in, sometimes they'll say negro or negra, but because you are coming from a background where you're understanding that that doesn't mean the same thing to all people, it's always good to err on the safe side by saying personas de color or gente de color, or if someone subscribes to themselves as Afro-Latino, Afro-Latina, you can use that. When it comes to also even gender, because gender is really important in Espanol, well, a lot of people in the LGBT community are fighting against that. And so they'll put an @ sign at the end. Instead of saying Latino, they'll put Latino, but instead of the O, it'll be the @ sign. Some people will put an X. So that's why our student association at Park Hill South is called Latinx Student Association. Some people are asking questions like, well, we need to know all the people you've talked about. Yes, you want to recognize them. Explanation of the phrase Afro-Latino is this is a person, so one that is Latino, which means that they come from one of the Latin American countries. Not all of them speak Spanish, so it does include Brazil, which speaks Portuguese, Haiti, which speaks Francés, y también Jamaica, which speaks English, but that has family from the African diaspora. Remember, this is an ethnicity, so it's self-proclaimed, so you can't look at someone and be like, you're dark and you're Latino, you must be Afro-Latino. Because if the person doesn't consider themselves Afro-Latino, you can't call them Afro-Latino, okay? Someone said, now intent versus impact. Can you intend to say an idea without making an impact at all? Let's see here. This is a really deep question. Can you intend to say an idea without making an impact at all? Can you intend to say an idea without making it? I don't know how to answer this question. If you're on the YouTube chat and you can answer this question, if you intend to say an idea, I think, let's see if this answers your question. If you say something that you mean to compliment, you're either going to have a positive impact on them or a negative one. So the concept of intent versus impact is that you understand that the impact has a greater weight than the intent. So I might not even intend to compliment someone, but they take it as a compliment, and that's what matters. If I intend to compliment someone and they take it negatively, that is what matters. So impact is greater than in 10, if you think about it in math terms. Some of you asked what's microagresión in English. I try to avoid giving you direct translations because it looks the exact same. It's the cognate, so exactly what it looks like, but I'm going to give you a definition because most people don't even know what this word is in English. I have no idea if there's going to be projects having to do with Black History Month yet. I don't think so because you have a project leading up to parent-teacher conferences, but there will be a study guide that you will be able to make for Crédito Extra, and I'll show you some examples of that. You will create your own study guide, always, always. Y no soy Afro-Latina, by the way. For those of you who needed to know the answer about negro versus negra, is it okay to say it? Remember, we're talking about it depends, and it depends on whether you're a part of that group that's considered Afro-Latino or Afro-Latina or negro or negra, or if you're not. Remember how we talked about in-group, out-group, the sibling connection that we made? You will have to provide those explanations as we talk about answers to those questions. This is not on OneNote. I will give more examples of discriminación y prejuicio in class if you remember to ask me, okay? Okay, vamos a continuar. Whew, that was a lot of questions, which was awesome. Let's go. Vamos a aprender. If you do not have your laptop, you will need your laptop because remember, one of the ways that I gave you Crédito Extra, yes, it's Crédito Extra if you're on at the right time, which is now. So in order to get that, I look through who's responded, who has not responded. Based on last time's feedback, I would make sure you get 3 minutos on my clock, which means you're going to get a little overdose, I think, by the time I get to you. And the screens will walk. So there's no reason to Google Translate. I'm not looking at your answers being right or wrong as far as puntos. It's just letting me know who knows the material and who does not. All right, remember, so the first section we're going to talk about is objetos directos. These do replace the noun. You cannot put the objeto directo and the noun in the same sentence. As I talk about this material, I'm looking at prueba cuatro. For those of you who are thinking, how long is this video going to go? I'm trying to make it 20 minutes more at the longest because I have another video conference and for the Latinx Student Association that we had a leadership meeting. So I'm going to try and be concise. But as I looked at your pruebas, there's a lot of people on the questions. You put, like you were supposed to replace the noun or the direct object with a direct object pronoun. And many of you tried to conjugate a noun. So for example, if I wanted to say like, I tell lies, and I wanted you to, it said, I tell lies. In Spanish, you were supposed to say, I tell them. Some of y'all, instead of putting las digo, I tell lies, I tell them, you either put digo las mentiras, you didn't replace it, or I had some people put digo las mentiro. So not because you didn't know the word, but you conjugated it. I had someone else put, like, if it was we tell lies, decimos las mentiramos. No, we cannot conjugate a noun, okay? So we're gonna do some practice. You'll also notice with the translations, a lot of you are struggling with your listas de vocabulario. You're not retaining the vocabulario, and you just gotta keep practicing, keep studying. On Schoology, under listas de vocabulario, I put all your listas from Español Uno. So for some of you who came in with gaps, like you didn't ever learn them in Español Uno, for whatever reason it was, maybe you have a fall sport or whatever it may be, you need to go back and study those listas de vocabulario because all of Spanish is cumulative. And it does not matter if you have a tutor or not, it's only you who can learn the listas de vocabulario. If you type in descubre uno and then whatever lección it is into Quizlet and you get the Quizlet app, done. Every time you're on the bus on your way to a meet or on your way to a game, anytime you're in the car and someone else is driving, not when you're driving, you can just flip through the note cards on Quizlet, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and start. I want you to translate, they bring them, and referring to the papers. Remember the importance of word order. Remember it goes subject, DOP, then verbo. Also you'll notice bring is one of your words from Lección 4, which is in your Español Uno folder in Schoology. So I'm going to go ahead and give you about un minuto más. I got some people who have finished already. Excelente. Make sure you conjugate your verbo. I'm going to start saying people's names, y'all. Don't be embarrassed, but it's just so that you know who I'm talking to. So Coleman, conjugate your verbo. I got some of y'all who logged in with your personal emails, which is okay, but not preferred because I can't help you if I don't know your personal email. A lot of people are putting take. I need you to conjugate the word to bring, which is traer. For those of you who didn't know, so preston, conjugate traer. They bring, not we bring. Remember your order: subject, DOP, verbo. It's about to change. All right, locked. All right, chicos. So let's see. I did not bring my notepad. That's what I was missing. Let me see if I got something so I can write this word on here. So it was they bring them, and we're referring to the papers. The papers in Espanol is los papeles. Sorry, y'all. I'm at the oficina for my apartamento, and the struggle is too real. But hey, you're getting a tutorial on a snow day when we're all supposed to be off. Here we go. Okay. So paper is el papel, papers is los papeles. Because it's los papeles, it's they bring them. So ellos, los, traer is to bring. Remember, it's also a go verb. So if you talked about it in yo, it would be yo traigo, which is a diptongo, diphthong, two vowels next to each other. But if you want to say they bring them, referring to the papers, this is how it would look. Minimize to make sure it's on here. They bring them. All right. Ellos los traen. Those of you who have had me, you know that I don't care about the subject always. So you could just start by saying los traen. The only reason why you put ellos is if you want people to know who you're talking about. So if I say los traen and they say quiénes, and I say ellos, or I could say their names instead. So in order to avoid extra questions, especially those of you who are like, my listening is not the best, you might just want to be specific with your subject when you're talking. Okay? Podemos continuar. Ahora. He tells it, and we're talking about the truth. He tells it. Remember, to tell is decir. The truth. You have to know the truth is la verdad. If you have not memorized that one yet, add that to your cuaderno. It's an irregular yo. So in yo, it's yo digo. It's also a stem changer. The E changes to an IE in the boot. Or the E changes to an I, I'm sorry. In the boot, E to I. All right, you got about 10 segundos. Those of you who have an IR at the ending, you got to conjugate. There you go. It's going to close. Somebody put L tells. No, no, no. All right. Let's see. As you look, pueden ver. He tells it. Él la dice. Él la dice. Notice decir is an E to I in the boot. And if you wanted to conjugate it for yo, it'd be digo, the go verb, the regular yo. Él la dice. As I look at some of your responses, I just want to give some feedback. So some of the things that I noticed that people are missing, a lot of you are still getting word order correct. Some of you are not agreeing your subject with your ending. So remember, that's a Spanish 1 concept, which means that like that sounds like a one-on-one. You're not going to learn that in a tutorial, small group tutorial, or on an online tutorial if you're still struggling with your endings. So I'm going to post real quick a resource to practice your endings if you're struggling with regular conjugations. That resource is conjuguemos.com. Conjuguemos.com. It will give you a timed session to practice your endings for those of you who are still messing that up, because we will not be able to practice that in tutorial. So I'm just going to send you I'm going to put this link on YouTube right now in the live chat. Yeah. All right, so now it's in the live chat, chicos. I recommend you'll click present tense and then you'll get to practice. Or you can do the spell changing verbs or stem changing verbs, irregular in the yo form. It has all the things, You can even do all verbs, but you want to stick with the present tense because you guys haven't learned pretérito, which is past tense, okay? Vamos a continuar al siguiente. They have them. And we're talking about playing cards, which comes directly from your lista de vocabulario. Notice it's on purpose. They have them. As the time's getting a little bit shorter. If you take 3 minutes per question, that means you haven't fully learned the concept in Espanol. Plus, you will not be given 3 minutes when you're in conversations with people. You know, people normally start tuning out by then. You have about 20 segundos. Diez segundos. I say this is a shoe verb because it changes in a shoe, not a boot. Here we go. So make sure you can see this. In order to say they have them and referring to, what is it that we're referring to, y'all? I forgot. Playing cards? Oh, crap. Darn. Oh my goodness. Golly gee whiz. Okay. Playing cards. That is las cartas because the phrase is jugar a las cartas. So if you want to say they have them, you would say ellos or ellas las tienen. The subject is corresponding with tener. Remember, it's an E to IE in the shoe, but in yo, it would be tengo. Okay. I can barely read my handwriting, but hopefully y'all can read it. Ellos las tienen. Okay. Ellas las tienen. A lot of you are forgetting the stem change, or you're stem changing everywhere. Okay. If you're struggling with memorizing your conjugations for the irregular verbs, my recommendation is you make a note card. And the way that you would do the note card is on one side, you could do it a couple of different ways. On one side, you can put tener, and on the other side, you can do the chart like this. Or what you can do is on one side, you can do tener, and then you can say like yo. And on the other side, in the chart, you'd put tango in the correct spot. Okay, that's what I'd recommend. If you need to look up any conjugations and things like that, also on word reference, you can type in the word in Espanol, and one of the options, instead of like Spanish to English or English to Spanish, you can click conjugations and it will give you the conjugations of them. Obviously, that is why I do not just give you quizzes or homework where you just have to conjugate in a chart, because you can look all that stuff up easy. We're trying to learn Espanol here. Let's keep moving. I know you don't have all day. Okay, Bonus. Why is he doing it? And we're talking about the homework. Why is he doing it? Even though nobody would say that, because like we understand why people do homework. Why is he doing it? Tildes matters, so don't forget it's a question word. You need to put your tilde in the correct spot. Remember the difference between why and because? And there's two ways to say it. Don't forget to use present progressive. You do not have to have el if that stresses you out. I'm gonna check remind while y'all are doing this, see if there's any questions. All right, we're gonna go ahead and lock those screens. Okay, so I'm looking and people are leaving out the conjugation of estar. You must have multiple things. You need to have the word for why. You need the word correct conjugation for estar. You need to say doing, so to do with the ando or yendo, depending if it's an ER or an AR. And you need to have your direct object pronoun. You have two options. You can either attach it and put a tilde on your ando or yendo, or you can put your direct object pronoun in front of estar conjugated. So I'm going to unlock. Some of y'all are really close. Go ahead and take 30 seconds. Do not have estar conjugated. Go ahead and fix that. Start giving some specific feedback. In estar, right now you have why doing it. Ashton, remember you are replacing homework, so you shouldn't have it in your sentence, and you need estar conjugated, not ser. Now, put that DOP, Jamieson. Oh, it's locked. So I'm going to show you the correct answers. Here we go. ¿Por qué? I can't read it. Oh, do I have a tilde on la? Ignore that. Okay, there we go. ¿Por qué la está haciendo? Or ¿por qué está haciéndola? Those are your two options. If you're still using ser to say is every single time, remember that present progressive only uses estar because it's about something you're doing right now. That means it's not a permanent thing. Like when I ask the question, ¿Qué está haciendo profe? And you wouldn't say profe is talking, you would never say profe es hablando. You have to say profe está hablando. Okay? Profe está hablando, because that means I'm talking right now. Okay. Chicos, do you want me to do one more? Do you want me to do one more? If the answer is yes, put it on agree. If it's no, put it on disagree. You got 30 seconds to tell me if you want me to do one more present progressive and DOP one. Start writing it because, whoa. All right, I got a lot of yeses, so I'm going to do this real quick. Those of you who said no, I'm sorry, sit tight. And then, so the question that it's going to be a statement that I want you to translate. The statement is, we are learning it, and you're referring to Espanol. We are learning it. We are learning it. If you can do both ways, that'd be better. We are learning it. Remember, to learn is aprender. Aprender is to learn. There's no H in it for those of y'all who always randomly put an H in this word. We are learning it. All right, I'm gonna give you about 30 seconds more. Let me go ahead and look and see how y'all are doing. Oh, snap. No wonder you're not able. Y'all, I must be crazy. Let's see. New interactive question. Go ahead and write it. I'll give you 3 minutos to get that written. Did nobody tell me? This is weird. It looks like when I click participants, it only says me and Lucas are the only ones in this. I know that's not possible. Oh my. Responses, but I only have 30. Oh, now I have 38 on YouTube. Are some of y'all getting pushed? Can you repeat what you want us to conjugate? Oh. We are learning it, and it is referring to Espanol. Thank you, Lucas. I love that y'all can write on this comment side. That's great. All right, let's look at some of these responses. I'm going to give specific feedback. Once again, I still have a couple of people just not conjugating estar. So Morgan, Antonio, we are learning it. Right now I have one of y'all putting to learn, and I have another one trying to conjugate aprender. Good job, Abby. Muy bien, Skylar. Yep, Ada, you need to make sure that your 2 options are ando, yendo with an IE. Tamara, I think you're still typing because you don't have estar anywhere in there. No, ando, yendo. Not we learn it. We are right now learning it. Ale. Okay, Sara, good start. Let's see where you put that DOP. Kira, make sure you conjugate estar and take that aprender and put ando or yendo. Emma, well done. What I need you to do though is I need you to put the tilde on that first one. If you're gonna put the DOP at the end and attach it, you gotta put a tilde on that A. You got 5 segundos, chicos. Jameson, muy bien. All right. Some of y'all we got more people getting it, and that makes me really excited. Okay. Two options. Nosotros lo estamos aprendiendo. Nosotros estamos aprendiéndolo. Antonio, I see you said I tried. You're doing fine, but don't forget to conjugate estar. Those of you who put this, which was a lot of people, so none of you were alone. Some of y'all were putting this. Nosotros lo aprendemos. If you put nosotros lo aprendemos, that could be we are learning it if you were still in Spanish 1. But the difference between this and these two is right now. What are you doing right now? So if I say, ¿qué estamos haciendo? I want you to respond with estar. Nosotros lo estamos aprendiendo. And we're referring to el español. If I want to say, what is it that we learn? ¿Aprendemos español? Sí, nosotros lo aprendemos. Okay? These are two different responses. If I ask what you're doing right now, we're here. If I ask what you do in general, like a habit, we're here. Okay? So if I'm responding and asking using estar conjugated and ando yendo, you need to respond as well. We're going to keep practicing. Lucky for you. Okay. It is almost 20. I lied. I'm so sorry. Real quick, ask me a couple of questions so I can just write them down. I won't answer them in the video, but I will try and answer them, whether it's in class or whatever. I'm going to set that timer because we're going to keep moving. Time is not on my side. I'm going to answer them as they pop up. I put la on my sheet for the haciendo. I don't think I did. No. Remember the one that said we are. I don't remember. There was one, the la is not that was not referring to hacer. Whoever asked that question, it's referring to whatever the thing was. So I can't even remember that far back, but the object was feminine. So someone else is asking, how do you know when to put, where to put? Oh, okay, where? It goes before your conjugated verb, or if you have two verbs, it attaches to the second one. That's either going to be ing or in its infinitive. If you want to be safe, always put it before your conjugated verb. You add the tilde to ando yendo when you're attaching it. I got project questions. You're going to have to hold on tight. No matter what, the project's going to be due, those of you asking about it. So it looks like we need to keep moving because y'all stressing about this project. So when I ask, ¿qué está haciendo? I want you to respond in a complete sentence. ¿Qué está haciendo el bebé? All right, at this point, you should have finished. ¿Qué está haciendo el bebé? This is not a direct object pronoun. You're just going to respond with what the baby is doing. When you finish, if you think you finished, I want you to reread what you wrote. Good job. Who is this? You wrote that so fast. Muy bien, Elena. Muy bien, Arlie. Muy bien, Maddie. Muy bien. Almost Avi. Remember, you can only stem change one letter for presente progresivo. Make sure you have ando yendo. Ale. Muy bien, Sara. Maybe make sure you stem change that O to you, chicos. There's no direct object pronoun, Adán. Muy bien, Lennon. Muy bien, Jamieson. Okay, y'all are understanding this. Watch out for the brain glitch. Don't forget the R. That's in dormir. Caitlin. All right, so let's show you. All right. So let's see here. I'm gonna lock the screens. Let's see what's going on. So there we are. If you want to say he is sleeping, el bebé or él está durmiendo. It's an O to U. Durmiendo. If it stem changes O to UE, it will only stem change O to U. Memorize that. See? For your present progressive. Let's do another one. Next one. My other meeting's about to start in 7 minutes. Let's see 7 minutos. ¿Qué está haciendo? ¿Qué está haciendo? You don't have to be creative, even though this is a goofy picture. Good Burger, love it. Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? Let's see what people are typing. Oh, nice job. Somebody dropped that DOP. I'm going to do one with the DOP. All right. This is what I put. Just now you'll see me moving very quickly. Here we go. Él está escuchando a las hamburguesas. If you wanted to say he's listening to them, because that's what he's doing. It's really weird. Las está escuchando. He's listening to them. Or él está escuchando a las hamburguesas. Okay. Let's do one more. Uno más. ¿Qué? In just a few seconds, we're about to go to the proyecto questions for those of y'all stressing out on your day off. Please don't stress. Please don't stress. All right, locking those screens. All right, this is what I have. Ella está preparando para la película. She's preparing for the movie. Ella está preparando para la película. Okay? Okay. I'm going to give you just 30 seconds to ask me questions about presente progresivo. I'll start answering them. I got some no's. Y'all still asking me about this proyecto. I said, do you have questions on presente progresivo? Uh-oh, I heard the video is lagging. Does that mean my lips don't match up, or does it mean you just don't feel like you have enough time? Someone who says, can you review exactly when to use it and not to? What's the it? Got a lot of no's. If you, whoever said, let's see who this is. Okay, I'm not seeing a lot of presente progresivo questions. Caitlin, I don't know if you're confused on presente progresivo or if you're still thinking about this proyecto, but we're gonna keep going. All right, anuncios, your makeup work is due mañana. Mañana. That means if you completed it, you need to send it with an email, por favor. Remember, I will be gone next week, el 14 de febrero. If you are stressing about anything and you just want to boost your grade just a little bit, go to a Black-owned restaurant and get your Crédito Extra. Once again, the game that we'll be supporting for Crédito Extra también will be el 11 de febrero, so start reserving those dates. Also, mañana. Let's talk about this proyecto. Let me tell you the purpose of Clever. It gives you a lot of questions to think about each part of the project. You have 3 things due on Schoology. You don't have to submit anything on Clever. You can just click submit as you finish each stage. That's the only purpose, okay? That is the only purpose. So 1, a short essay based on Clever. It says on why the destination that you choose is a popular destination. This is in Espanol. It's simple and basic, like 5 sentences. If it said like Guanajuato, Mexico, yo pienso o creo que Guanajuato, México es un destino muy popular. Es interesante porque hay muchos museos para ver las momias. Just basic. Parte 2, or once you finish that essay, attach it to Schoology. Parte 2. Now, based on that same location, I know Clever gives you another set of locations, but I want you to use the same locations from the first essay assignment. Now, you've already done some research about why it's popular. Now, I want you to choose a hotel or a restaurant or a tourist site in that same location, and you're going to make an advertisement for it. Short little word ad. It's going to have the price, why someone should go there, a picture to get them excited. Attach that to Schoology. Click submit on Clever. It doesn't have to be attached to Clever. Parte 3. Now you choose. You can make a brochure, but it has to print like a brochure, double-sided. Or you can make a website, a Google site. You are going to advertise that same location that you chose for the first meeting. Or for the first meeting, see something popped up. For the first destination, carrying it all the way through. You can either paste the link into Schoology or you can attach the brochure to Schoology. Brochure or website. You don't do both. 3 parts of this assignment. 1, short essay about why it's popular. 2, an ad for something in that same location. 3, a brochure about the location. It might include hotels, restaurants, etc., etc. Go ahead, I'm going to flip this slide. You can ask your questions. I will try to answer them individually, but I do have another meeting at 2:30. Just waiting to see if there's any questions. All right. If school gets canceled, okay. If school gets canceled, you will still have it due, but I will make it due Monday at 7 a.m. Okay? School gets canceled, it will still be due, but I'll make it due Monday at 7 a.m. Rubric. Yes, there will be a rubric posted, but it's really simple. It's like, is it neat? Does it have the required content? What does the grammar look like? Are you using vocabulario from this unit? The brochure, if it's a brochure, it needs to be like a tri-fold brochure, or you can do a double folded brochure, but brochures, you know, like if I print it, it shouldn't be a flat page like a flyer. You will get 30 minutes mañana if we have school. Awesome. Yeah. Whoever said the Canva thing and you split it, beautiful. If it's not double-sided, but it still looks like a brochure, I don't know. Good luck. If you did 3 different places, that's fine. You just gave yourself more work. Part 2 is over a specific activity. Part 3 is over the whole place. All of this is due. It's a project. Mañana at the same time because it's all to the same Schoology assignment. You do not need to do a brochure and a Google site. It will still be due tomorrow if we have school. So you better be praying we don't have school, y'all. It'll be due 30 minutes in class to work tomorrow max. So definitely we'll need to use today well and tonight. If you can get it to print like a brochure, you will be fine. The steps are already posted on Schoology. Yes, I will check. You can just press submit on Clever. You don't have to attach anything to Clever. The short essay should be in Espanol. You will not have to print anything. I just need to know it's printable if I decide to print it. Everything's in Espanol. Every single thing. Please don't Google Translate anything. I think I've answered all your questions. All right, gracias. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Before you leave, go ahead and leave your final comments about the short tutorial. And we're done. Screens will lock in 3 minutos. Gracias.